Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, walk into a store, reach into your pocket for cash, and the cashier stops you. They tell you that cash is no longer accepted. Not because the store doesn't want it, but because cash is illegal. No bills, no coins, no physical money at all. You're told not to worry because your money still exists. It's just digital now, on your phone, in your bank app, on a screen. At first, that sounds fine, but then a very simple question appears in your head. What if the screen says no? Today, we're going to talk about a world where cash becomes illegal, and we're going to explain it like you're 5 years old, because sometimes the simplest way to understand something is also the most honest. Let's start with what cash actually is. Cash is money you can touch. If someone gives you a bill or a coin, it's yours. You don't need permission to use it. You don't need electricity. You don't need the internet. You don't need a password. You can give it to someone else instantly, and no one has to approve it. Cash doesn't ask questions. It doesn't care who you are or what you're buying. It just works. That's why kids understand cash so easily. If it's in your hand, it's real. Digital money works very differently. Digital money is not something you hold. It's numbers stored in a computer. When your bank app shows a balance, there isn't a box somewhere with your name on it filled with cash. There's a database, a server, a system. And that system runs on rules. Rules can change. They can be updated, paused, restricted, or rewritten. Your digital money works as long as the system allows it to work. So what does it really mean if cash becomes illegal? It doesn't mean money disappears. It means every payment must go through a system. Every transaction needs approval. Imagine you and your friend trading toys. Before, you just trade. Now imagine you have to ask a teacher every single time, and the teacher writes it down. Who traded, what was traded, when it happened, and why. That record stays forever. That's the difference. When people talk about banning cash, they usually give reasons that sound good. They say it's to stop bad people, because bad people use cash. That's true. But kids use cash. Grandparents use cash. Small businesses use cash. People without bank accounts use cash. People who just want privacy use cash. Saying cash should be banned because bad people use it is like saying roads should be banned because criminals walk on them. Another reason they give is taxes. If all money is digital, it's harder to hide income. Everything can be tracked. On the surface, that sounds fair. But think about it like a 5-year-old would. If every move you make is watched, who has the power? The person being watched or the person watching? Then there's convenience. Tapping your phone is fast. No counting coins. No change. And yes, it's convenient until your phone battery dies, until the system goes down, until your account gets flagged, until a mistake happens. Convenience feels safe until it becomes the only option. When cash disappears, 3 very important things change. The first is privacy. With cash, no one knows what you buy. With digital-only money, every purchase is recorded. Food, medicine, books, tickets, donations. Time, place, amount, buyer, seller. Forever. You're no longer just a person using money. You become data. The second thing that changes is control. In a cashless world, money can be programmed. This sounds strange, but it's real. Money can expire. It can only be spent in certain places. It can be blocked from certain things. Imagine your allowance telling you that you must spend it this week or it disappears. That's not really money anymore. That's permission with rules. The third change is access. If cash is illegal, access to money depends on approval. If your account is frozen, even temporarily, you can't pay for food, transport, or rent. You don't have to be guilty. You just have to be flagged. While the system reviews, you wait. Life doesn't wait. A lot of people say that none of this matters if you do nothing wrong. That's a comforting thought, but history shows us that rules change. Governments change. Definitions change. What's acceptable today can be unacceptable tomorrow. Cash is neutral. Systems are not. Explained like you're 5, the problem is very simple. Cash says if you have it, it's yours. A cashless system says if we allow it, you can use it. One is ownership. The other is permission. This shift toward a cashless world doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly. First, limits on cash payments. Then temporary restrictions. Then incentives for digital payments. Then inconvenience for people who still use cash. Eventually, cash still exists on paper, but using it feels suspicious or wrong. Why is this happening now? Because debt is high, inflation exists, control is easier digitally, and trust in systems is fragile. When money is fully digital, it can be pushed, guided, or forced to move. Cash lets people step outside the system. Systems don't like that. A 5-year-old understands something adults often forget. If you can't touch it, if you can't control it, if it can be taken away with a click, then it's not really yours. Cash isn't perfect, but it's honest. And when cash becomes illegal, the real question isn't whether life will be easier. The real question is, who holds the power when the screen goes dark?